What's up, my YouTube family? Welcome back to the Gaming Brigade, and as we roll into the weekend, my friends, I wanted to share with you a build I'm calling my Bounty Hunter build, strictly because I've just been using it recently for bounties, but it's really good for anything in the game. It's got skill damage, weapon damage, good survivability, so I wanted to share it with you really quick. Now, if you happen to enjoy this video, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really does help the channel out. We have a 300 like goal per video. You can feel free to subscribe or join as well, and we do have giveaways here. Our current one is for an Xbox Series S. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe here or follow on Twitter, and the winner will be announced December 31st of this year. We are going to jump right into the build, my friends. However, one thing I mention at the beginning of every build video is I want to remind especially new and returning players, this is just a template. This is one of so many different ways you can put a build like this together. The most important thing is to take your time and truly make a build your own. The other thing I recommend is anytime you're trying out a build for the first time, go to a mission, control point, bounty, whatever it is in the game that you're comfortable with. You know the timing of the NPC. That can give you an idea of what the time to kill is like in the build. That way you can make any adjustments that may help your gameplay. Starting off with the specialization, I'm using Technician for a few main reasons. First of all, it's going to give us that extra skill tier which we want. We want to be sitting at skill tier 6. You also get a 12% damage bonus to drones, skill proxies, and robotics. And remember, regardless of which specialization you choose, always have the proper weapons activated in your weapon skill tree. That way you're getting a 15% weapon damage bonus regardless of which one you have equipped. My primary weapon for this build is the Capacitor. Absolutely love that assault rifle. Now, if you do not have it as yet, it is a guaranteed drop by completing certain challenges in the summit, and for those of you that may have had it, you deconstructed it, whatever it is in the general loot pool, so you can farm for it anywhere the assault rifle is the targeted loot. Now, the reason it's so effective is because of its talent Capacitance. Shooting enemies builds stacks to a cap of 40. Each stack grants 1.5% skill damage. After 5 seconds, stacks decay 1 per second. However, the best thing about this is that for every core skill tier you have, you're going to get an extra 7.5% weapon damage, so depending on how you put this together, you can get up to a 45% weapon damage bonus. My secondary for this build is a classic M1A rifle with the talent in sync. Hitting an enemy grants 15% skill damage for 5 seconds. Using a non-shield skill or damaging an enemy with the skill grants 15% damage for 5 seconds, and then damage increases are doubled while both buffs are active at the same time. Moving on to the sidearm, I actually meant to have the TDI card equipped here. I just put the wrong one, but the TDI card with in sync is what you want to put there. Now moving on to the gear itself, you can see I'm running 1 Wyvern, 2 Empress International, 2 Brazos, and the Memento backpack. Starting off with the mask, it's the one piece of Wyvern, which is going to give me that 10% skill damage bonus. Now on all of these, I'm trying to stack crit hit chance, crit hit damage, and skill damage, but it's all going to depend on the type of roll that you have with these pieces of gear. And I want to point out, even though it's not really perfect or exactly what I want to have on the build, it can still get the job done. Moving on to the body armor, it's the first piece of Empress International that is going to give us that 10% skill health, and I'm using the talent Kinetic Momentum. When in combat, each skill generates a stack while active or not on cooldown. Stacks increase your total skill damage by 1% and total skill repair by 2%, up to 15 stacks per skill. Now we make our way to the holster. It's the first piece of Brazos, and we're using the Picaros holster. Now we know we cannot put a red core attribute on here. I've chosen armor because I wanted a little more survivability, but remember, if you chose a skill tier, that would give you more weapon damage with the Capacitor as well, so it's totally up to you. Moving on to the knee pads, my friends, it is the second piece of Empress International, which gives us that extra 10% skill damage. Again, I'm stacking crit hit chance, skill damage on this. We make our way to the gloves, and this is where we have our second piece of Brazos, which is going to give us that extra skill tier. I had to roll skill damage onto this. The other attributes are okay. The core attribute, I really wish it was weapon damage, to be honest, but we have to work with what we have. Now we make our way to the backpack, and this again, my friends, is where you have a lot of options. I'm using the Memento because it is still the best in slot without a doubt. Now that is because of the talent kill confirmed. Now if you do not have this, I recommend putting a third piece of Empress International here instead. Use the talent Combined Arms, because when you do that, you're going to get a 10% skill efficiency bonus, and Combined Arms is an absolute monster of a talent. You can see with that talent that when you're shooting an enemy, it increases skill damage by 25% for 3 seconds. So again, regardless of which weapon you're using, you're always putting out damage. That thing is going to be running non-stop. So for those of you that do not have the Memento, this is a great alternative. As far as my skills go, I'm using my two favorite, the assault drone and the assault turret, because they put out a ton of damage and they're a great distraction to NPCs. Now, as I start to wrap this video up, and most of you know this by now, but one of my favorite aspects about putting these build videos together is the family that we have at the channel. So as always, if you have any tips or tricks you want to pass along to new and returning players, please let me know, as the main goal is to help out as many people as possible. With all that being said, I'm going to let the rest of the video play out. However, as always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your amazing support of this channel, and remind you, if you happen to be new here, feel free to hit that subscribe or join button. If you enjoyed this, you could hit that like button as well, but most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.
Target. Sniper turret detected. Target down. Good job. Target neutralized. Good work. Nice. Cleaning up the streets one bad guy at a time. Nicely done, Sheriff.